Get ready to have your world turned upside down, because from what it seems like, Jason and I have discovered Rocket League in VR, except for one big difference. Instead of boosting around as Octane or Dominus, you become giant robots either named Viper, Nitro, or Titan, fighting machines straight out of real steel. An epic movie about a boy and his sparring robot named Adam who worked their way up the boxing ranks to eventually make it to the top.
No, bro. Stop it. You gotta stop. We talked about this. Real steel is a good moment, but we gotta let it go.
What am I supposed to do? It's real steel, dude. Have you seen Adam? He's so cool.
Don't worry.
Ultimex. This multiplayer game is definitely intriguing and fun to play with friends, but at the end of the day, is it still best to play Rocket League on PC or in VR? Let's find out. Welcome back, Squad. We appreciate you tuning in for another official Squad Score, where we play a VR game of choice, meticulously study it, and give our unprofessional, widely uncertified, but deeply honest review. This month we were reviewing Ultimex, the VR equivalent of Rocket League. It's been getting a lot of positive reviews, which is how we stumbled upon it in the first place. We're always looking for solid multiplayer games, so if you have any recommendations, please let us know in the comments. As for Ultimex, your role in this game is to take control of these giant mechs, aka robots, and compete in a sci-fi, real steel version of Rocket League Soccer. The big difference here, though, is that you move the ball either by punching or launching your fist like a rocket at the ball. Our first impression of this game was fantastic. When Jason and I joined, we were instantly excited simply by the opening animation. It felt very similar to the opening of Madden NFL Pro era, where in the first 5 seconds of the game, you run out into a stadium of screaming fans and have this moment of complete and epic immersion. From our experience, games that go the extra mile to ensure that your first few seconds are this impactful always boost our excitement levels before we even play.
Oh, I did it! I did my superpower!
As for the gameplay, well, it's exactly like Rocket League. So there really is nothing new there. There are goals at either end of the field, and the objective is to use a combo of your skills, power-ups, and teammates to score against your opponents. Obviously, the one exception is that instead of driving shiny cars, you're driving shiny robots with arms. You can't fly or do flips, so yeah, maybe it's a bit different than Rocket League, but in VR, maybe that's for the best. I can only imagine that if this game truly followed Rocket League mechanics and allowed you to fly through the air while doing flips and punching in all directions, it would have definitely made me throw up. But, you know, Echo VR did this back in the day, and they seemed fine, although the gameplay was much slower. Regardless, we understand why the developers had to ground players to the floor and let their fists be the ones that fly instead. While it differed from Rocket League and the cinematic masterpiece Real Steel, we both found it to be pretty fun. Our mood, on the other hand, followed an interesting trend. As always, the first time Jason and I play a new game, we're pretty excited. We call this the beginner's hype. The phase where you're introduced to a new world, characters, and gameplay modes that are always fun to experience and test out for the first time, but the better question to ask is, how long does that initial feeling last? For this game, I would say the initial thrill of the game wore off in about a day or two, but I will say that hype was quickly replaced by this feeling of teamwork and camaraderie between my big bro and I. Our conversation evolved from this...
I got superpower! Oh no, where's the ball?
Oh my god, for the shot! Oh.
To sounding more like this.
Let's go! Nice, bro! Nice, bro!
But if we're to be honest, this game was not all rainbows and sunshine. Jason and I actually ended up having two main problems. The first problem was that this game is fairly hard to pick up. Yeah, it's easy to get those basic movements and basic mechanics down, but to actually put all of that together was kind of hard. Jason and I played for 2 weeks, back to back. And even during our last week, there were a lot of moments where I just felt disoriented and we didn't feel really in control.
Dude, my depth perception is so bad with like my fist. I'm like, is it close? Is it not close?
And as brothers, we're relatively good at most games. Or at least we claim to be. So it was definitely frustrating to not have some sense of mastery at least 2 weeks into playing this game.
Good try.
The second problem was finding people to play against. At first, since we were noobs, we tried to take on the beginner AI just to get our feet wet. And quite similar to Adam's first fight in the legendary film Real Steel, we got smoked. But over time, as we got better, we finally worked up the confidence to leave Robot GPT and instead take on some normal fleshy humans in some competitive gameplay. And we got smoked again.
Oh god!
No! Hey, it's okay. Don't panic.
Regardless, even though we were able to play a few good matches, there was a decent amount of times where we would get into these 2v1 matches, and this would just cause the game to cancel and bring us back to the lobby, where we would spend more time sitting and waiting for games to start. But those problems aside, this game was still fairly enjoyable to play. There were many subtle details like the sci-fi transition over your vision when you're loading into a mech, or the NPCs moving around the lobby gave the space some really good energy. Now, combining all of those thoughts into one, it's time for our official squad score. For this game, we've chosen to base the score on 3 main metrics: creativity, cost to fun ratio, and repeatability. The first metric is creativity. How far outside the box did the developers have to think to create this game? In terms of creativity, we're not trying to sugarcoat anything. This is just Rocket League. Even with the introduction of mechs that bring back memories of a classic heroic film loved by many, this game does not offer anything new that we have not seen before. So for that, we had to give it a creativity of 2.5. Next is the cost to fun ratio. It's pretty straightforward. For how much money you spent, how much fun did you get? We chose this metric because this game is actually free of charge. Yeah, it's absolutely free. And there's no better way to rank a game based on how much fun you had when you didn't have to pay anything for it in the first place. And yeah, we had lots of fun and kicked a lot of butts. And for that, we're giving this game a perfect 5 for cost to fun ratio. The third metric is repeatability. How often could we see ourselves coming back to play this game over and over and over? While this game did provide a lot of good multiplayer moments for the squad, whether it was us using power-ups to punch in goals, giving call-outs, or just giving each other high fives, the game also comes with a steeper learning curve that would be challenging for most. So for repeatability, if you're a casual player, we wouldn't recommend it, but if you're into those competitive games and you want to really boost up your skills, we gave this game a 4.3 for repeatability. That brings the official score of this game to a 3.9. So congratulations to Ultimechs. Your game is great. We love the competitive aspects, and we love punching in those goals.
Bro, a 3.9 is pretty good, but it's nowhere near as close to Madden NFL Pro, which nearly had a perfect score, and then Wayland's 2, which was such a great game. So if you guys want to check out those games, please click the links on the screen.
Also, we'd just like to hit you guys with that special announcement. We have officially released our Discord. The SqawdUp Discord is live. Come and join us. Follow us along our way. You can give us some game recommendations. We'll talk to you there. And we appreciate you guys watching this video. Hit us with that subscribe button. Hit us with that like. And as always, squad up.
Squad up.